Hey, what's up? This is Kevin Asoba with Viralizers.com, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to encourage, entice, and make it easier for people to retweet your information. Specifically, I'm going to be showing you a formula with a couple of different ninja tools that you can use, which are free to use, right? I'm going to show you them, how to use them, and the formula also I'll be showing you, which is going to show you how to pull out specific quotes or something you say or whatever it is. You know, when it comes down to it, here's the deal. People are lazy, right? People are really, really lazy. So if you want people to retweet a message of yours or share something with their Twitter audience, if you write it for them, there's going to be a much greater chance that they're actually going to share it with their audience. You follow me? They're going to share it with their friends, followers, whatever. So what we want to do is take all of the work out of it so that all they have to do is click a button. So I'm going to show you an example of how I'm going to be doing this when it comes to my podcast, right? So if I come over here to episode 2 of the VIP Viralizer Insiders podcast, here you'll see that there's, the player. And then if we scroll down, you could see there's a blog post. Now, I still have to go in and, add some subheads, add some bold text to break it up, right? Because right now it looks too, and it looks a little too, I don't know, plain or simple, I guess I should say. So what I want to do though is I want to add some images, right? I want to add something to it. So here's the 2 formulas that you can use, and the 2 different tools you can use to encourage, entice, and make it easier for people to share, messages about your content. So the name of this podcast episode is Build Relationships, Not Numbers, right? Building relationships, not numbers. So the first thing I'm going to show you is on Twitter, okay? Now, you'll see here that I've been putting out some tweets about, different beliefs, right? So I created a Viralizers Manifesto, which I'm going to be releasing in a couple of days. It's an image, and it just has all of the beliefs on there, right? Enjoy the hustle, build relationships, not numbers. To be acknowledged, you must first acknowledge, stuff like that. Well, over here, you can see I'm starting to share them on Twitter. Now, if I come over here, look at what we can do. We can come over here to this more link, click on that, and then you see over here it says Embed Tweet. We could click on that. And over here, you see this? Well, this image is what we can embed directly onto our webpage, okay, inside of the post. So I could place that anywhere, and people can go there, and by simply clicking on this button right here, they'll follow me, right? So you could build your followers this way. If they click on this, they can reply to that tweet. If they click on this middle button here, it'll get retweeted. And over here, if they click on the star, they can favorite that post, okay? So I could do that. Now, if I wanted to do a better job, and this is what I suggest you do, when it comes down to it, that's actually okay. If I'm using this formula, which is to use the embed tweet from Twitter, if I'm going to use this tool to do this, then it's okay because I got the follow at Kevin Asoba and everything. But there's a couple of things that are not in there that I do want them to be in there. Number 1, hashtag viralizers, right? Just viralizers, not Viralizers Manifesto. We want the hashtag viralizers in there. So what I can do is instead compose my own new post. So what I'll do is I'll put hashtag viralizers, right? And then I could put, maybe I'll do this. And then I'll put build relationships, not numbers. Right? And then what I can do is put by at Kevin Asoba. Now, why would I do this? Here's why. You want to put your username in there, by @ your username, because if I put this out and one of my followers, right? Let's say Joe is one of my followers. I always use this guy, Joe. Everybody uses Joe, right? It's either Joe or Bob. But if I put this out there and Bob, we'll use Bob actually. Bob comes along and says, hey, that's cool. he retweets that to his audience. What happens is it'll be shown as, it's a retweet. So everything that I put in my original post will be sent out to all of Bob's followers. Yeah, Bob's followers. But it's going to say by Bob. However, if I put in the actual post itself, by @Kevin Da Silva, and if you do the same thing, if you put your username, what's going to happen is now, no matter how many people retweet it, because remember, now if Bob retweets that, let's say 3 people in his audience, then, again, retweet it, you're going to get lost in all of that. However, if you put your, @username in the actual post itself, now you're guaranteed that everyone is going to know that it came from you. So what that can do is if they like what you said there, then, now you got something to work with. Now you got something, a way for people to come back and follow you, right? Right from the actual post when it shows up there, they'll be able to hover their mouse over your name, get that little pop-up, or click on it and get the pop-up that shows your profile, and they can follow you that way. You follow me? And then I could put by @Kevin Da Silva, and that's good enough, right? So what I can do is, if I wanted to, at the end, you can throw in some hashtags, right? New Media Expo is one that I'm a huge fan of. Blog Chat is another one that I'm a huge fan of. Social Media Week, SMW, is a really popular one right now. So I could do SMW, right? For Social Media Week. So what I could do is actually, let me see if I have another Twitter here. Okay, so if I do Social Media Week, right? If I do a search for SWM, actually, you know what? That's backwards. SMW is what I meant to search for. It'll show me all the people that are talking. So 9 hours ago, 1 hour, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours. So you can see that there's a lot of people in on this conversation. And then what I could do is come back over here. See how I just put my mouse there? See what happened? SMW13, SMW, see all these other ones? So that's cool. Now, I know earlier it was actually a trending topic, okay? So I'm just going to put, SMW. That'll be good enough, all right? We'll see how that works out. So I'll put SMW, Social Media Week, because that's the week. And now what I'll do is I'll tweet this out, all right? So I'm going to put that out. So it says your tweet was posted. So now what I could do is come back to my profile. And on my profile, right here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to more. I'm going to go to embed. And then what I could do is copy this, right? And now when I come back to my post on WordPress, I'm going to go to edit post. And what I'm going to do is, you can see right here where there's the more. You see that? More. So that's where that's the cutoff for what shows up on the homepage, right? That's where I cut it off. So what I'll do is come over here to text and see where that more, see that right there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that code right after that. So I'm going to click on enter. And now I'll come back to the visual to see how that looks. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on update. And then we'll take a look at the post and see how that looks. Now, I'm going to be showing you another formula so that you can use that same thing, but on your own images, okay? I'll show you that. There's another tool that you can use. There's a different way of doing this, and I'll show you that in the next video. Now, okay, so, all right, so see that right there? Boom, okay? So now, I mean, just look at that, right? It breaks up the page. It shows them what's going to be sent out so they can follow me. They can retweet this. They can reply to it. They can favorite it. And every time they do, here's where this gets powerful, guys. Every time they do, it's going to be using the hashtag SMW. So now let's say, let me give you some, ninja tips for using this. Let's say you wrote a post and you referenced, one of the top people in your market, one of the top brands in your market. You can write a post about that top brand and say, whatever. It could be a puff piece that just talks how great they are and how you should follow these guys. It could be about, maybe an affiliate product, whatever. But every time that if you wanted to get on their radar, if in the post that you pre-written, if in there you put @ that person's username, and then everybody comes along and then retweets that message over and over again, every time they retweet it, it's going to @ that leader in your market. Okay. So every time, and so that leader is going to go look at their profile and they're going to see the same tweet, the same post coming up often, right? All the time, and over, a period of time, it'll continue to happen. And they're going to keep saying that they're getting @ by different people, which number one, lets them know that you have an audience. Number two, lets them know where it's coming from, right? Viralizers.com. They won't be able to miss it. If I was @tagging a leader in this post, they would see that Viralizers, Kevin De Silva is the one that's putting this out, right? @ Kevin De Silva. So they're going to know that even though other people, all these other people are retweeting it, they're going to know where it came from, where it started. And now when I go to contact them to say, hey, can I interview you? Would you want to be a guest on the podcast, whatever? They're going to be a lot more willing to do that, right? So this is a great way for you to, not only a great way for you to build your audience and build your tribe, it's also a great way for you to get traffic. It's also a great way for you to get links back to your site. And it's also a great way for you to get on the radar of the top people in your market. Also, another great way for you to get inside of the conversation when it comes to hashtags. Now, we don't want to hijack, don't, retweet it 14,000 times yourself. I'm going to put it out once. If anybody else wants to retweet it, that's great. I'm not going to push the issue. I'm not going to try to, spam hashtags. However, I will use this formula. So that's it for this video. I'm going to actually break this up into 2 videos to keep them short. But in the next video, I'm going to be showing you a tool that lets you do what we just did, but instead of getting all of this, you get a link. You get a simple link. And then when people click the link, they get brought to a page where, on Twitter, where it's all pre-written. However, what we want to do, what we could do then is we can take that link and we can use any image that we want. So you can use any image. You could just turn, any text. You can highlight it, insert link, insert that link. When they click that text, boom, it automatically retweets it. And I'll show you what I'm thinking about doing, which is creating like a yellow or orange or green box right here with the quote that you want to pull from your podcast or whatever it is. You pull a quote, and then what you do is have a little link that says retweet this. And then, when they click it, it brings them to that link. So I'll show you that in the next video. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next video.